Hi, this is Chris with a K here from the Thoughts and Theories podcast. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it is hands down the easiest way to start a podcast. And I'll explain to you in five very good reasons why that claim is solid. One, it's free, completely free. My favorite four-letter F word. Who does not like the word free? I don't know nobody who doesn't like it. If you don't, what's wrong with you, right? Two, the tools Anchor allows you to record and edit your podcast from your computer and your phone. So this thing can be mobile for you. Three, Anchor is going to do all the distribution for your podcast. So you can put your podcast on major platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Four, you're eligible to make money from your podcast. So think about getting paid to talk about what you want to talk about. Sounds like a deal to me. And five, it is a one-stop shop. So everything you need to make a podcast, you can get on Anchor. So all you have to do is download Anchor for free through the app. Or you can go to anchor.fm to get started. That's it. It's super simple. That's all. So don't miss out on this great opportunity. Take advantage and start your podcast life today. Hey, it's Chris with a K here. Welcome to the second episode of Thoughts and Theories. I'm so pumped and excited that you are here. I don't even be using the word pumped. That's just how excited I am. But never the case. Welcome to the second episode. Before I even get started with the episode today, which I'm going to get right into it today. I ain't wasting no time. Before I do that, please make sure you follow me on Instagram. Is _thoughts and theories. So thoughts and theories spelled just like how you spell it. No remixing of the word. So _THOUGHTSAND THEORIES, if that's how you spell theories. My spelling isn't that great. Was never really great at English, but you can always look it up. Worst case scenario. Also, you can follow me on my YouTube channel as well. If you go to my Instagram page I just told you about, there's going to be a YouTube link to my YouTube channel, as well as you can listen to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other streaming platforms that I had no idea existed. And most importantly, on Anchor. Anchor is the number one place you should be listening to this. Reason why? Because one, it's free. My favorite four-letter F word. And two, because of the simple fact that you have the additional option of doing what I like to call voice messages. You're able to record a voice message and it sends it right to my Anchor app. Download the Anchor app, do it. It's pretty cool, pretty nifty, right? Definitely do that. You get to see me messages, and those messages could be about anything. It could be about what I discussed on the podcast, a question I asked on the podcast you're responding to, telling you about how your day, or if you need someone just to vent to, you just had a rough day, need somebody to vent. It could be about anything. It could be about a question to me. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it's something that's, when you're doing it, just make sure you have a good heart about it, and don't be a troll. If you're a troll, then please just don't leave a voice message. But other than that, yes. Welcome to Thoughts and Theories. So basically, when most people start podcasts, if this is the first podcast you're listening to of me on Thoughts and Theories, please refer back to episode 1. It kind of gives you an introduction of what the podcast is about, but I'll just briefly explain like 10 seconds. It's basically like a audio version of a diary about the thoughts and theories that come in and out of my head every day, meaning anything could be discussed and talked about. That's the cool thing. And the cool thing about this podcast is that your thoughts and theories matters as well. So the cool thing, from time to time I have special guests, and by special guests I mean a human being. It could be you. That's why you should leave a voice message. And also, if you leave a voice message, please leave your IG or your email. Your IG or email. So definitely I can get in contact with you, if I want to have you on the podcast, or as well as if I have the permission to, if I want to put your voice message on my podcast, put that audio into it, because I do want to incorporate other people's thoughts and theories into it as well. That would be a great thing. I would appreciate it so much. So leave your IG name or email, and I'll definitely get back to you on a voice message. Or you can, do that. But anyways, Today's episode, what we're going to be talking about. What we're talking about, Chris, I'll tell you what we're talking about. Today, I'm going to jump right into it. One of my friends, her name is, posted a status on, it was on Facebook, I think. Her name is CC. She's awesome. An awesome woman, a cool friend. She's amazing. But she posted an article that sparked my interest. It's called "The Longer You've Been Single, the Better You'll Be in a Relationship." And the reason why this sparked my interest, because I'm going to be transparent here on this podcast. I'm going to be very transparent about myself, Yeah, I've been single since like 2010 or 11, one of those years. I've been single for like 8-9 years going on now. That's a long time. And I'm about to turn 31 December 21st. Shout out my birthday. Please give me a shout out my birthday. It's on a Saturday. So I've been single for a long time. Basically, my whole 20s, I've basically been single, really. It's just the truth of it, which is like kind of like death to most people, right? But basically, this article I didn't even read yet, and the reason why I didn't read it yet, because I wanted to read it live with you guys. So as you guys are hearing this for the first time, I'm hearing it for the first time too. So we're like in this together, we're listening to this together, and you can hear my thoughts on it. And that's what the voice messages is for on Anchor, that I want you guys to download for free, to leave your thoughts on this podcast, because I love to include you guys into this podcast, and not just be about me talking. And then somewhere later down the line, probably looking to have someone to be like a team, kind of like, having a Breakfast Club or Billionaires, podcast where it's like 2 or 3 people on a podcast, because this podcast is going to be something I'm trying to go shoot for, a daily podcast. So have somebody who at least can make commitment once out of a week. So let me know if that's someone's you. And we'll see where we go from there. So that's what the voice messages are for. But anyways, I'm sorry for going all over the place, because this is literally my thoughts and theories, or my diary in audio form. So I'm gonna start reading the article so I can kind of share with you guys why I'm interested in this. It's something I want to talk about that I rarely get to talk about. So the article was written by a gentleman named Paul Hudson. This article is old though. It's from 2017. It's 2019. But hey, relationships, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. So this will be great to talk about. So, okay. So it starts off like this. Relationships are high stakes these days. I haven't looked into the numbers, but considering how many relationships the average person has in a lifetime, not counting one-night stands, booty calls, and friends with benefits, the probability that things will work out is between 10 and 15%. It's probably even less if you factor in the marriages that are failing or very unhappy. Wow. Yeah, that's a low statistic. Oh yeah, FYI, people, sometimes my word pronunciations are horrible, and I like stumble and stutter over them. So please bear with me. I'm working on myself. The next thing that it says is, why are relationships so hard, and why do we enter them if they're so doomed? So basically, while I'm reading this article, I'm going to stop and pause to get my little 2 cents on it. I think honestly relationships are hard because we probably don't understand the real purpose of them, and we've remixed and created our own definitions of relationships, so we're not using them in the proper context. And we enter them. Why do we enter them if they're so doomed? I think we enter them because there's always hope. We were wired to be in relationships and whatnot. So I don't think about the fact that they're doomed. Yes, there's a lot of failed relationships. I come from a community with a lot of failed relationships, but I'm the optimist. I'm the person that's like, as long as there's one, then I'm good. Because I truly believe in. I don't think there's the one. Meaning everybody has that one person that's made for them. I think that, because if that was the case, then someone would inevitably marry somebody's other one. So I think that everybody has options of who they can marry, people that can be compatible with to marry. There is no one, but it is an adventure in finding someone, When you marry them, then they can become the one to you in a sense, But I think that ultimately they're just being one person out there for you ever. I don't think that's true. But there's hope. I think there's hope for me. I think there's hope because of the fact that, hey, I'm a guy, And unfortunately, Kanye West said it best in one of his songs. He says, I guess there are more good women than men percentage wise, so his chances of having a husband just minimized. Like in some cities, the ratios are like 20 women to every one guy. There's 20 women, or to every one guy is 5 women. So in the guy's eyes, the odds are good in the guy's favor, but it's usually the guys who messes up the relationships a lot of the times. I'm pretty sure that if you're the woman in the background or any woman that's listening to is like, I know that's right. I know that's right. 2 finger snaps. Like, I kind of like this Chris with a K. Okay. But yeah, it's usually true. The guys are the ones that usually mess up. But then on the guy's defense, they can have an excuse of, well, I have so many to pick from, because technically with a lot of statistics, guys do. You have a lot of options to pick from, and you don't want to end up picking the wrong one and having that big feeling of regret, right? Having that big feeling of regret. So I know how that can feel. And anytime you hear this noise in the background, that means I have a Uber Eats request or Postmates. I do delivery. So I'm literally like doing these audio podcasts while I'm actually on the road and driving. So yeah, so I'm like, while working, I'm working on this podcast because I'm literally sharing what goes on in my day. But anyways, yeah, fun little fact. Well, it's not fun, but quick little fact. Today I stepped in an ant pile at work. It was weird. I didn't know I was stepping in an ant pile until I felt a whole bunch of little things crawling in my legs. And they were red ants. One bit me, but I made it out safe though. But them things crawled in fast because I guess I ruined their home. I'm sorry, ant pile. Should have watched where I was going. I was just trying to get some sunlight on my 10-minute break at work. But that's me. Never the case. Note that I do happen to go off track a lot of times because these are my thoughts. I'm like a squirrel. I'm like when a dog sees a squirrel. I'm like a dog that when they hear the word squirrel, see a squirrel, they just get all disorientated and whatnot. That's me. That's me all day. I ain't even going to lie. I'm not even going to lie about that. But yeah, basically, to the women's side, a lot of guys mess up. That can lead straight back to the fact that, the guy, most homes are single parent homes these days. If they grow up with one of the parents, it's usually the mother. And so there's not a father present. So there is no example set forth of how do I supposed to treat a woman? There's no example of that. So a guy has to figure out what that is. So he goes by what he sees in society, aka from, social media, from music, from, what they hear on the radio and see on TV and stuff like that, which promotes nonstop subliminally, get as many as you can before, you get old, it's not about being faithful. It's just being about having your quote-unquote fun while you're young, and then when you get older, you settle down, go to church, have the kids with the 2.5 kids and a white picket fence and a dog or cat, whatever animals people choose these days. So guys usually have no proper guidance, which that should not be excuse. It shouldn't be, but people can use that as an excuse of guys. And then on the other side tip, maybe if you're one of those guys that are actually good guys, something about it in life is that we're always attracted to our opposite. Like me, I know it's like growing up, sometimes I had things for girls I knew I shouldn't have been with, bad girls and stuff like that, and I knew it wasn't gonna work out. But then again, I fell into the Samson trap. And what I mean by Samson, if you guys aren't familiar with the Bible, in the Bible, Samson, basically he was a guy who was very strong. He had dreads and stuff like that. This guy, like Hercules and stuff, the black version of Hercules and stuff like that. This guy was strong. Every time he got in a fight, he beat the people. No one could whoop him and whatnot and stuff like that. But then there was this girl named Delilah. She was bad news. The whole time it was obvious she was trying to find out what's the secret of his strength to take it away and stuff, And he knew that, but he was just so enticed by her, by her beauty and stuff like that. It's just I guess the kryptonite of men, most men, is women. Anytime a man usually falls, there's probably a woman behind it, and stuff like that. So, I had a lot of Delilah moments in my life, probably shouldn't be with you, but dang, you bad girl. I'm gonna be with you. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. But one thing I've now realized that there's a lot of cute girls in the world. So the thing is that what's on the inside matters just as much too, right? But some guys do get caught up in that. And I'm going to be honest and transparent right here. Sometimes I ended up with a good girl and she did nothing wrong, but just me as a guy not having proper training or guidance, or I wouldn't say like a blueprint of how to treat women, but once I get her, I treat it like a game. Meaning, like, once I got the girl, oh, mission accomplished. It's like on to the next. It's like I was like trying to have a whole collection or a toy or something. Once I got the toy I wanted, it's like the Christmas effects. Like once you get your toy you want it for Christmas, oh, once it gets the toy, I'll never ask for another toy again. Then you get bored with it. Then you want the next new shiny object. In this case, it would be another woman. So like how I look at it, it's like, wow, it's kind of messed up how my thought process was. So I understand why guys do what they do, even though it's just wrong. And and then I would go for the bad girls, no good for me, and then I would dump her, and stuff like that. But yeah, but on the other women's side, man, there's not that many guys out there, and if they get taken, it just crushes my hope. But then every time I'm talking to my mom or family, they're gonna ask me, when am I bringing some little babies into the world and stuff like. So it's the pressure of the grown-ups that the first thing you do when you see them. Let me know if this is you. Like, you have family members, you haven't seen them in a long time, and the first time you see them, the first thing they do, like, how you doing? When you gonna make me some grandbabies or nieces and nephews or brothers and sisters? Like, they just ask about that, not knowing exactly where you are at in your life, but they just go quick to ask that as if they just know you're ready to have children or be in a relationship and stuff like that. They don't know what's going on in your life. You're probably like just emotionally damaged from a previous relationship, or you're not financially stable. Just all this stuff they forget to ask first prior to that, and that's, I think, the reason why a lot of people do end up getting in relationships, because they feel pressured. Funny story, I actually ended up talking to a girl one time because one of my brother asked about, like, yo, you talking to anybody? I was like, man, crap. And the first girl who popped in my head, I honestly just started talking to her. I don't know why. She's a great woman though. Great woman, but I wasn't ready, But there's a lot of questions about that, So let's continue to read the article here. All right, so it says relationships might have such trouble because people tend to learn by trial and error. We aren't sure what works, so we'll date anyone who catches our interest in order to narrow our preferences. Ooh, this is interesting right here. So relationships have had such trouble because people tend to learn by trial and error. So it's like, they're just like, we'll just keep dating until we see which one works out. So basically, to narrow down to, I guess, to hone more in on what's their type. But there has to be more to it than that. Certainly, many happy relationships, ones that should have worked, failed. Maybe the people in them just couldn't get it together. Most people would say that the timing was off. Oh, timing, you impossible. Little person, you. But wanting a relationship isn't the same as being ready for one. Ooh, I'm going to stop right there. So like I was saying earlier, I think just people's radar or compass is off what the purpose, what the meaning of a relationship is, and how to conduct one. Obviously I'm not saying no one's perfect, but I think just people have a wrong idea how a relationship should go. That's the reason why I've been single so long, because I have no clue how a relationship should go, really. But look, all my life I've been wanting a relationship, but it isn't the same thing as being ready for one. So I heard my pastor might say this. He says, I don't know if he got this from somebody, but he says, are you the person that the person you're looking for is looking for? So it's like saying, oh my gosh, I'm ready for relationship. I want this person that looks like this and and have all these qualities, this and that. But we fail to look back upon ourselves and ask us, is that person I'm dreaming of ideally, is that person looking for me, the likes of me? Meaning, I'm putting all these expectations on this person to improve and be better and be great and awesome and terrific and neato. But I'm fine with me being the same person. I don't have to grow. Just them. I think that raises a lot of red flags. And I think that's the reason why we all want one, but we aren't ready for one, because we kind of do not look at the whole picture, forgetting the fact that that person we're looking for has things that they're looking for too. So what if the person you're looking for, you find them, but turns out they don't want you? Can you deal with the pain of that rejection? Could you be okay with the fact that, man, the person I was looking for, it turns out I wasn't their type? But the person that I'm probably not looking for, maybe I'm the person I'm not looking for, maybe I'm the person they're looking for. So it's like this big run around question box and stuff. This stuff I think about, right? Being okay with someone, being okay being rejected, being okay with the fact that, man, the person I thought could be the possible one to marry one day, or just even date. Not even say start off with marriage. Let's just start with the word dating. Once, it's not interested in me. But if I'm really interested in them and really want the best for them, I have to accept that. But if I say I want the best for them and I get rejected and get mad at them, then really it was a selfish desire of me. Me being selfish, which means that relationship probably wouldn't work out because I would just continue being selfish. I don't know about y'all, but me, when I was back in the days, like, most guys, we see a good looking girl and they're like, oh, she's the one. And then what happens is that what we're really doing is like, yeah, we're having a surrogate body of what we want our perfect woman to look like, but we don't care what that girl's personality is on the inside and whatnot. But we're just trying to conform or force her to be what we want our perfect woman to be like. So being so selfish that, hey, you look great and everything, but your personality, all this, I don't care about. I just want you to keep looking like how you want, and I'm going to shape your personality myself. So we're not even dating the person we're really dating. We're just dating surrogate version, the ideal, but just in flesh incarnate, So it'll be unfair to that girl, It's weird. It's really weird and unfair and selfish. I learned that about myself. Like, man, I'm just out here dating girls and surrogates, and I'm not really trying to get to know the real them and stuff like that. That's not fair on my part. So that's why the breakdowns happen, because people don't have the real conversations. Ooh, got another delivery. Be right back. I am back. Out here getting them deliveries in and whatnot. But yes. As I was saying, I'm going to continue on reading this article. It says sometimes we aren't emotionally ready to date. Dating after heartbreak, for example, is always difficult. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I'm going to keep reading and I'm going to stop. It says people believe in a relationship work if both people are in a healthy emotional place in their lives. And this does make it more doable. But being emotionally ready for a relationship isn't necessarily the same as being mentally ready for it. Oh, it's getting deep. This is getting good. I'm going to keep reading. Then I'm going to stop. I promise. So one of the main reasons people break up is they're not mentally prepared. They don't fully yet understand what it is they want and need, nor are they ready to make the necessary sacrifices. You could say they're not mature enough. Ooh, how could people prepare to make necessary sacrifices if they don't even know what they're sacrificing in the first place? ? Or what's worse, they don't know what it means to compromise. There's really only one way to mentally prepare yourself for becoming a single, functioning, loving unit. You have to know yourself on a deep and intimate level. Yes, you need to get intimate with yourself. Keep in mind that requires you to spend a lot more time with yourself and no one else. It requires alone time. And the longer you're single, the better the partner you'll be in the future. Ooh, we got to stop there. So let's back up. It was just talking about basically people, should both people in the... Wait, what was it? All right. So, but being emotionally ready for a relationship isn't necessarily the same thing as being mentally ready for it. Okay. Ooh, this is a good point he points out. And what are my thoughts immediately after reading that is that, I realize a lot of times, we operate off of let's say if we have like, you have like a DJ has a playlist queue and he has songs and stuff like that. Or maybe I'm getting this wrong, this metaphor is simile wrong. But basically, let's say if you had a priority list, yes, this is better. On your priority list, most people put their emotions over their mental, which in fact, your mental has a lot and everything to do with your emotions, if that makes sense. What I mean by this, mentally ready. As we scroll down, as I was reading, it says, don't... Okay, it was talking about mentally being ready for relationships. One of the main reasons people break up is they're not mentally prepared. They don't yet fully understand what is in need and nor are you ready to make necessary sacrifices. So when I think of mental, I think of like you're kind of like looking at just everything over the whole overview of relationship, like understanding like, yo, what am I signing up for? What am I getting into? What are the goods? What are the bads and stuff like that? Because when we're emotionally just thinking emotionally, you know, either let's say if I've been single forever, but I'm just thinking emotionally about it, like, oh my gosh, wait till can't wait to get a relationship. It's gonna be so great, this and that. You know, and for a split second, I'm in la la land because I'm just all emotional, but I'm not thinking about, oh crap, with good emotions comes bad emotions, which means, what if, what if, man, things go wrong? What if the person cheats? What if, I don't know, something happens, they lose a loved one? What if we get in an argument? What if they're asking me to give something up, making big ultimatum, all this stuff? That's stuff we don't think of because we try to like, well, for me, I'm gonna speak for me. I always try to look at stuff in the bright light, but when you're thinking mental, you're thinking a whole, both good and bad. You're thinking a whole thing. You're like kind of more planning for that because mentally you're able to, when you're mental, you're able to make like some concrete decisions, like, okay, this is my non-negotiables and these are my negotiables, like stuff I'll tolerate and this is stuff I won't tolerate. Having them set in place, they might change based on the person you're dealing with, because of the fact that if the person is willing to grow, there's always stuff that can be variables that can be thrown in that switches up your, your I want to say qualifications, but the things you're willing to put up with versus the things you're not. So if a person's growing and want to learn from mistakes, if they do mess up, are you willing to move forward with that? I mean, you have to think about that mentally. Like, how much damage would that take on you mentally, your psyche and stuff, and traumatize you? Because whatever happens mentally, it's going to affect our emotions. Because I think they're both tied in, but mental is the more. Well, not saying mental, I mean it's the more logic side, if that's making sense. I'm just interpreting the way I see it, and stuff like that. So compromising sacrifices, that's something we don't usually make. Like I was talking earlier, how like when back in the day when I used to see a cute girl I wanted to talk to, it was more so, what can she do for me, instead of like, man, what am I willing to do for them? Because ultimately, to make a relationship work, both sides have to give 100% expecting nothing. But I had a mentality of, I'll give 50 and she gives a 50. So it's really being selfish. So it's giving versus taking. There's living and giving and faking and taking, as I would say, a quote I made up. So it's learning that, learning what you're signing up for, learning what you're getting into, understanding that, okay, I'm going to check out all the bad stuff and see I'm able to put up and tolerate that. I'm going to ask tough questions. Like, oh my gosh, are you planning on having kids? How do you plan on disciplining kids? Oh, what kind of dreams and goals and ambitions you have? Oh, what happens if, we're together, things are going good, and one of us loses our job? Or, just talking about deep stuff. The non-negotiable stuff, that's an instant breakup. Stuff I guess we don't talk about, but when you're thinking mentally, in a sense, stuff you want to cover, so you know what you're getting into. But when you're emotional, oh my gosh, I've been single, this person's been single, oh my gosh, we're on a date, oh my gosh, she's cute, oh, she thinks I'm cute, oh my gosh, we kissed, we're perfect for each other. And you're basing everything off of a physical action instead of how the person's actually conduct themselves, how their habit and personality actually is, because the physical can cloud a lot of judgment. A lot of one night stands happen, people kiss. Fun fact, my first girlfriend ever, let's take a trip down memory lane. I didn't get my first girlfriend until I would say my fifth grade summer going into sixth grade. So basically like middle school, transitioning middle school. I was at these dances. They call them the rec dances, and it would happen every, like, I think once a year or once in a while. I don't know, but I went, and that's when back then wearing headbands was in. Dressing like a basketball player. I had a yellow bright shirt on, some blue jeans that bleeded, and I had the Nike Cortezes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The official shoes of the Mexicans. Those shoes are classics, right? And I hated the fact that I was wearing the blue jeans because that's back. I don't know if people still get this, but when the jeans would bleed on your white shoes and you had the blue jeans on your white shoes, oh my gosh. But yeah, I bought an outfit just for that rec dance, and I went to the rec dance. Oh my gosh. I had like a senior in high school was like, "Oh boy, you fine." Boy, was I feeling myself, feeling myself like a girl wearing a pair of leggings. I was feeling myself. But anyways, then all of a sudden I see these girls come up ask me, like, my friend wants to dance with me. Like, it was like some Secret Service type of stuff, right? Like the girl, my first girlfriend, I'm not gonna say her name, but she sent her friends over to talk to me. That's a boss move. And once I found out who it was, this girl, she in the elementary school I came from, she was the second most popular girl in the school. So like the second most popular girl in the school asked, like, "Hey, wanted to dance with me." So I danced with her. We danced. We didn't even talk. We just danced, and everything slowed down for a moment. It was crazy. Like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. I'm dancing with her. So I ain't even spit no game. Like, she's the one that actually did the approaching. I'm glad she did. But after that, I was thinking about her all that night. I was telling my homeboy Ariel, like, "Yo, man, I danced to this girl. I danced to such and such." And this is weird. I never asked him to this day. It was just weird. This is just the weirdest. I wouldn't even call it weird, but it was just a unexpected, coincidental moment. I was like, "Yo, man, I was dancing with her. Oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking about it." He's like, "Yeah, you know what? I got her number in my backpack." I'm like, "Wait, what? How?" I didn't even ask how, but in my head, I'm like, "For real, give it to me." And I got her number, called her up, and then we didn't even talk that long. She was like, "Just meet me at the park this day and this time." And then it was me and a couple of my homeboys who went out to the park because sixth grade, it was like a 30-minute walk, but my mom didn't trust us walking anywhere. So we walked to the park, get to the park. She's there. I'm there. I just arrived. And once we get there, I didn't even talk to the girl. She sends her friends over again. This girl just had like a Secret Service of her own. And then they asked like a simple question. I was taking so long to answer the question. The question was, they come over, "Do you think she's cute?" And I'm like, I'm just like all dumbfounded at the mouth. They leave. They come back. I didn't even answer the first question. They leave. They came back with a second question. So no, me and this girl never really got to know each other. We're elementary, middle school basically. So, I don't even know if kids like that even talk back then. The second question the friends came back with was, "Oh my gosh, will you go out with her?" And I was like, "Yes." So no, the only thing I knew about this girl is that she was the second most popular girl in school. She was beautiful, and her name. I knew nothing else about her. My first girlfriend was a complete mystery. It was like a blind date. And then I went to go see her. She was on the top of cause at the park, so she was top of like the playground set thing where you climb the stairs and there's like the pole you slide down, or was it slide, whichever one. No, it was a pole that you slide down. Went up there, and then like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if we had a conversation. It was so long ago, right? I'm 30 years old. Wow, I'm an old guy. And then all I did was kiss her, and I jumped off the thing, like I was just feeling myself cool. And then yeah, the relationship began on there. Yeah. Crazy, right? But I was all in my feelings. The point is, I was all up in my feelings. I got dumbfounded by beauty. Didn't know anything about the girl, and then I ended up breaking up with her because she was an amazing girl, but she just got in a lot of trouble and stuff like that. I never got time to ask her who she was or anything like that. I never got time to ask her who she was or anything like that, or ask her what's her favorite color. Like, just ask stuff about her. I mean, I don't think a sixth grade would get that deep, but I didn't get to know her. So instead of getting to know her, I wasted her time. A great girlfriend. We actually ended up breaking up, and then I saw her again at the same dance like months later. We ain't even talk. We just danced together. I think it was like to like a reggae type song. Like, oh my gosh, it was like a music video moment. And then we just went back out then. I didn't even ask her out. We were just together after that. But I broke up with her again. Because I guess she was a bad girl, but I didn't give her a chance to get to know her. Because, now I know that, every saint is a sinner or has a past. Every saint has a past. Everybody gets in trouble and has dirt on them somewhere. No one's perfect, So now I look back on it, man, if I really got to know her, it could have been something special and magical, right? But yeah, so I didn't mentally know what I was getting into, but I let my emotions lead, and the fact that I wasn't raised up on how to properly sustain a relationship, I wasn't emotionally ready nor mentally ready. It's just young love, puppy love type of stuff right there. But the ultimate thing it was saying, the only way to mentally prepare yourself for becoming single functioning unit is to get to know yourself. This is something I'm just finding out. I'm like 30 now. Is that in order to love someone, you can't love someone until you love yourself. It's just this big chart, this big sequence. Like, first you have to find out what love is. I look at love as God. The creator of everything is love. Everything's love, right? And I realize you first have to know what that is. First, know who the creator is. If you know the creator is, because the creator created you, he has the manual on to who you are and what your purpose is here, and your person, like just all that stuff, right? So he has a cheat sheet on who you are. So in order to love yourself, you have to get to know who you are. And in order to get to know you are, you got to get to know whose you are. So where you came from, your origin and stuff like that. And once you have those things under the way, you are confident in who you are and whatnot, it allows you to easily, hone in on who you want to be with. It allows you to cut all the BS out the picture, not waste anybody's time, because you now know who you are. You're confident and you're not trying to change up yourself for somebody. But, you're just now making room. Instead of trying to change who you are for somebody, you're making room for them. Of course we're going to change in regards to growing, but I'm saying because you know who you are, you're not going to change up the foundation of who you are. You're not going to become somebody else. You're not going to be a catfish version of yourself to the person you're going to be with, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to read further on to this. It says, you need to get to know, you need to get to know yourself. We spend so much time putting on facades for others. I just talked about that. We pretend to be people we're not, and when we try hard to fit in, we lose ourselves often without realizing it. I just talked about that, right? We all change with time, but we don't always grow with time. Meaning we can always change up who we are and become another fake version of who we think we are, but we're never growing because we're not actually getting to know ourselves truly. That's deep. We change with time, but we don't always grow with time. Sometimes we take a couple of steps backwards, regardless, and turn into our younger, more immature selves. I can speak on that, right? It happens. It's okay. The day is not over, and you can choose to get yourself back on track. Once you take some time to be alone and explore who you are, keep in mind the person you want to be, you'll get to know yourself again. You'll come to realize what's most important to you. You'll also learn what's trivial and disposable in your life. Don't expect this to be easy. I know it may sound easy, but it's more difficult than you think. Old habits often refuse to die, and being alone is the only way to get enough breathing room to do what needs to be done. You need to be okay with being alone. You have to accept that you are enough. I understand you want someone in your life. I understand you don't want to feel alone. I don't either, and neither does anyone walking this planet. But you should be happy when you're by yourself. But your happiness, focus, hunger for life can't depend on somebody else. I understand that on some level this is impossible. Most of us gain happiness from having a partner, but you can't allow someone's absence to define your life. You can't look at a life with someone else as better than your life now, because if that life is better, then the one you're living right now must be worse, right? But it's not. It isn't a bad life. It's simply different, and you need to learn to be okay with something different. Too many people use relationships like band-aids, but but the blood always seeps through. You know what? I'm actually going to stop there, and just kind of talk about what I just read. I've learned that having someone does not complete you. They're supposed to complement you, not complete you, because if they complete you, you are ultimately devaluing yourself, and you're going back to an immature state and not loving yourself. One thing I've learned to be is that you have to get to a point in your life, which I'm working on. Sorry, I had to yawn. Point you have to get in life is that I'll be okay with being single even if I end up never being with somebody else. Because happiness, is different from peace. Happiness is like temporary, it's up and down. For instance, if someone close to me were to die, I will not be happy about it. But let's say if that person died, they had cancer, I had time to spend with them and stuff like that, and they went out with, we had a mutual respect of like we loved each other and stuff like that, close friend, family member, whatever the case may be, I can have peace about it, but I'm not happy about them dying. So peace is like a state, but happiness is more kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Peace is like a state, but happiness is like a mood thing. It's there 1 second and be gone. Someone bring you food. Oh, I'm happy, cool. But doesn't mean you still have peace. So they're two completely different things. So you want to be at a point where you can have peace, because peace, you can have peace about something, whether the scenario is good or bad, but happiness is only going to come, is based on obviously your discretion on what you think happiness is. And it actually comes from within. Just like peace, they both come from within, but happiness comes from within. But you can't give that happiness to someone else, in a sense. Allow them to control it. You are in control of your own happiness, but you have to have peace about it first, Peace, find out who you are and stuff like that. Because a lot of people, I'll raise my hand to that and say, we don't like waking up alone. We want to go to sleep cuddling with somebody, pillow talk every night, but it doesn't end up how we always want it to be in some fashion. We have to enjoy the season we're in, because a lot of us, we don't enjoy the season we're in. We're focused on being in a season that we're not in, and we miss out on the season that we're in. And when we finally get someone, we realize, oh crap, I wish I would just stay single, because I didn't realize, I have to talk to her, ask her how her day was. Oh, now I have to check in, check out. I can't stay out with the homeboys late. I can't come in the house late. Oh, I have to ask her not only how she's doing, but take care of her, feed her, help clothe her if she's sick. She can't work. I have to do all that stuff, So, understand, when you're single, you can't be about me, but when you're in a relationship, it becomes we. So that's a big transition that most people don't think about. They look at it kind of like some people can look at stuff with kids, I call it the grandparent syndrome, because a lot of people's like, oh my gosh, I want a kid. But they look at it from a point as if they're the grandparent. And let me explain it this way. A grandparent is someone like, oh yeah, the kid belongs to me lineage-wise, my grandchild, and they're cute and I can hold them and stuff. But when they're acting up and things go wrong, guess what? I can give them back to mommy and daddy. But in actuality, when you get in a relationship with someone, I'm not saying it's like parent-child, but it's definitely not grandparent theory. It's definitely not, oh my gosh, I only be with you only for the good times and get rid of you, when the times are bad. No, you're there with them in the good and bad. You got to put up with their shenanigans. Sometimes they're going to do stuff that doesn't make sense. Sometimes you're going to have to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of stuff that happens that we don't think about on that level, which is something that I think about when I have friends that are in relationships. I'm learning a lot, because I did get in a relationship all these years. I definitely would have messed it up. I would have been selfish. Yep, I would have probably got dumped. Definitely got dumped. Definitely not dumped, because I was just seeing things my way instead of being whoever I'm dating's partner, I would end up being their dictator. Instead of saying we're equal, I'll be like, no, I'm running this thing. Stuff like that. So I'm glad that I've been single for this long. It's taught me a lot about myself and allows me to get to know myself and date myself, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm going to stop there for today because there's a lot to take in, a lot of stuff I just went over. This is what I want you guys to do. As you see, I'm just blurting out my thoughts and theories as I'm taking this all in live. I want you to definitely, wherever you are, there should be a link that leads to Anchor Podcast. So download that app and leads to my podcast on Anchor app. Please leave me a voice message on what you thought about this second podcast. If you have any questions about what I was talking about, you have any thoughts about what I talk about, or you just want to talk about your day, or you want to vent, whatever the case may be, that's why I'm here. I'm just sharing my thoughts and theories, because that's all I'm here for. That's all I'm here for, to share my thoughts and theories, to make you realize that, hey, you're not alone in this world. You have thoughts and theories. They might sound crazy, but when you listen to me, you be like, hey, his thoughts and theories are crazy too. I guess I'm not crazy by myself, but crazy with someone else. And that's going to start to multiply and whatnot. Be more people that I'm going to come across that's going to think the same way in a sense. But at the end of the day, it's about sharing stories, sharing stories, sharing thoughts, not to come here to try to prove a point. All right. So this is Chris with a K. I truly thank you for stopping by, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you for tuning into Thoughts and Theories. And remember this: you are awesome. You are awesome. All right. And yeah, that's all I want to say. You're awesome. You have value. If you're single, guess what? You're in the dollar club with me. That's what I named. If you're single, the dollar bill club, because the dollars are called singles, and singles when you don't have anybody you're dating. See what I did there? Clever Trevor. That's what I am, a clever Trevor. But anyways, yes, thanks for tuning into my Thoughts and Theories podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on the platforms I told you about. It'll mean so much to me, and share this with your friends and stuff. And don't forget to send me voice messages. It'll mean so much to me. All right, cool. Peace.